Okay, everybody, we got a super interesting article here for Russia and Bitcoin. Let's jump right to the article and check what's going on. Okay, so it says Russian lawmakers pass bill legalizing Bitcoin mining and crypto payments for international trade. So the bill, which was first introduced a few years ago, is expected to take effect on the 1st of September, pending final approval from the Federation. So moving on. The Russian State Duma, their Congress, known as the Duma, passed a bill legalizing Bitcoin mining and allowing the use of cryptocurrencies for national trade. The bill, which was first introduced a few years ago, is expected to take effect on the 1st of September, pending final approval from the Federation of Russia. So, based on local reports, the vote tally from the session was conclusive, with 404 votes in favor, representing nearly 90% of the total. And seems that no members voted against or abstained from voting. So only 90% attendance that day in the Duma. So the new legislation is designed to address the challenges faced by Russian banks due to regulatory constraints and international sanctions. So the sanctions have significantly disrupted Russia's trade relations with key partners, including China, India, and the United Arab Emirates and Turkey, as local banks have become increasingly cautious under Western pressure. So mining regulation. The law establishes a regulatory framework to oversee crypto mining activities, ensure compliance with tax regulations, and prevent illicit operations. One key feature of the bill is the authorization of Bitcoin mining. So it was drafted by Deputy Anatoly Aksakov and other lawmakers. So the legislation mandates that mining activities be regulated by the government and the Bank of Russia, with the federal authority ensuring compliance. So the initiative aims to bring mining activities out of the shadows and ensure that income is declared and taxes are paid. In addition to regulating mining, the bill allows the sale of mined crypto without utilizing Russian information infrastructure, exempting these transactions from domestic currency regulation laws. However, the use of cryptocurrencies for domestic payments remains prohibited in Russia. Okay. The legislation also includes a ban on crypto advertising intended to control the spread of digital currency usage within the country. Now, for rising acceptance, while crypto remains prohibited for domestic payments, the bill marks a notable shift in Russia's approach to digital assets and currencies. The legislation aims to enhance Russia's trade relations and challenge global regulatory norms. Russia is also considering the official legalization of stablecoins for international transactions to simplify cross-border payments for Russian companies amid ongoing sanctions. The central bank is actively discussing proposals to permit the use of these crypto assets, which are pegged to stable currencies or assets like the US dollar or to gold, making them less volatile than other cryptocurrencies. Meanwhile, Russia's Ministry of Finance recently proposed allowing traditional exchanges to handle digital asset trading for select investors. A government draft response outlined the possibility of creating special regulations for conducting organized trading in digital currency recognized as a commodity on the basis of an exchange license or a trading system license. Okay, so that is the end of the article. This last sentence here, this last paragraph about traditional exchanges to handle digital asset trading for less select investors is actually a whole different ball of wax. It's something that we're quite familiar with depending on legislation and digital asset trading to be properly regulated. So, the Ministry of Finance is now proposing that these traditional asset exchanges will be able to handle digital asset trading. So, yes, creating special regulations to conduct organized trading in digital currency. Of course, like most countries, recognized as a commodity, and then on the basis of an exchange license or a trading system license, such as other countries around the world, namely Thailand or other countries which have a similar legislation to frame it that way, mostly as a commodity, cannot be used for payments domestically. But in summary, this article is really good news for Russia because more than anything, they have a lot of energy. So as long as they can, really just on so much energy, it's really hard to measure. One of their biggest exports is just energy in all shapes and forms. So if they can bring everything out of the black market and the gray market into taxable and measurable, it's going to help the government to create wealth and then pay and then be able to avoid any sort of banking regulations or sanctions because other payments exiting Russia will be in the payment of commodities as if it were gold, as if one country is paying another country in gold. It just happens to be Bitcoin, or perhaps another cryptocurrency. So this is really kind of monumental in a way, because it shows that the Russian government is not going to let this opportunity slip between their fingers when it comes to the whole supply chain of crypto, and specifically Bitcoin, that they can create it out of thin air, to use that terminology. As long as they have the hardware, they have the energy. And as long as they have the production, they need to find a way to tax it and regulate it, bring it into the open market, and then use the tax revenues to fund the government further, and have all of that new created wealth used to pay their bills, and as a form of payment, as if it were gold, or as if it were crypto stable coins. So the trading of crypto stable coins for them, it says here, yes, is considering the official legalization of stablecoins, but that's not necessarily the key part of this article. But for the most part, the final part of this article, talking about digital asset trading, is also quite important. As we mentioned earlier, digital asset trading is, if it's now allowed on the largest traditional exchanges, and that says here for select investors, that's a huge step forward for them to recognize and institutionalize trading domestically, because it's not been that way ever before. Okay, so really good article, and really good news for the Russian Federation when it comes to their digital assets acceptance, and finding ways to work around, which the United States admits and the West admits is less and less effective sanctioning. So this will further prove and facilitate non-Western friendly countries to just, the sanctions are less and less effective if they have more and more options, such as cryptocurrencies, and mining them. So quite a monumental shift when it comes to geopolitics and money in general, because this country is going to have so much energy they could just produce really as much as they wish, as long as they have the mining infrastructure available. Okay, that's a wrap for this article. Hopefully everybody appreciated this summary, because I think this is going to age very well. I think this is going to be something that even a few years up, people are going to be seeing how the center of gravity shifts for mining in general, and it's already shifted to the countries that have the best hydro energy or nuclear energy, and we've had a lot of articles and videos already on that. It's just going to increase it's going to go from a small murmur to a critical mass threshold of just articles which prove that this is where the market is headed. Okay, everybody, have a good day.